There's one party I've not really spoken about, in fact, not at all, come to think of it, and that's Advance UK. Ben Habib's baby, we will call it. I have some reservations, and I want to tell you what they are. I want to discuss with you what they are, and I'll be interested to read the comments and see what you have to say, and if any of you can change my mind. But to set the scene for Advance UK, we have to go through reform for a second. You know, everybody's painting reform as the great hope, what's going to bring this country back from the brink, what's going to save us all. Now, I have previous experience with Nigel Farage, wherein he's been in my area, the constituency in which I live, making certain promises, standing for election here, and a few other oddities, all of which left me severely disappointed. When reform rose, when Farage came back, I thought to myself, yes, okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, let's see where this goes. And looking at the politicians, which is what they are at the end of the day, coming over to reform and looking at the political direction reform is moving in, and like it or not, they're heading towards the left of centre rather than the right, I remain bitterly disappointed. There are many out there that are going to vote for reform because they feel that that's the way to go, and great, you know, you've got to go with your heart, you've got to do it in massive numbers. So I can't and won't be voting for reform at whatever election comes up. Now, Advance UK comes along, Restore Britain comes along. For transparency, I have joined Restore Britain because I believe in movements, I believe in voices, I believe in trying to create a bit of momentum to solve issues. Why haven't I joined Advance UK? Well, Ben Habib, I remember years ago, he did a speech at the Walpole Bay Hotel in Cliftonville as part of the Brexit Party, literally just down the road from me. I was in the audience that night and I was very impressed. He's a very articulate man, very polite man, very knowledgeable man, and you can tell there is genuine desire to sort out the problems that we all face. But there are certain things about the whole political system which disturb me. If we go back to the Acts of Union, for example, 1706, 1707, what we ended up with as a result of that union between Scotland and England was the Parliament that we have now, the Westminster Parliament. And as things have gone, we've ended up with parties. We've ended up with whips. And if you look at the Westminster Parliament in its current form, to my mind, it's no longer fit for purpose. The other thing that happened as well as a result of the Westminster Parliament being created, England lost its own dedicated parliament, therefore its ability to make its own choices and its own decisions. I love England. England is my country, my home. I love every part of it. That's what matters to me. The safety of England, the people in it, and where we go. Throughout all of the political discourse I hear, it's always the union of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the nation state of the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. Yes, the United Kingdom is made. It is a nation state in that sense, but if you drill it down, what it is, it's a political union between three countries, Scotland, England and Wales. A political union. You look at the EU, it's a political union. You look at the former USSR, it's a political union. That's all it is. It's a piece of paper. It was created on a piece of paper. We have our own countries, we have our own cultures, the Scottish, the English, the Welsh. And obviously, if you go outside of the United Kingdom, look at the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland as well. We all have our own individual cultures which need preserving. And in all this talk, I never hear about any of this. I never hear about any of that spoken whatsoever. I hear about borders, and I hear about sovereignty, and when you talk about sovereignty, there's nothing in that text which says to me about sovereignty. So not acknowledging the individual countries within this union really gets to me. And also I wonder whether political parties are the way of the future. I wonder whether political parties is where we have to go, where we have to be, because if you look at the setup that we've been, well, enforced on us over the last several generations, parties argue amongst each other, parties vie for power, parties, their primary aim is to stay elected, to stay electable. Within parties you have whips. You can't have whips. They're unconstitutional. Whips, all they do is keep the party massive in line and get you voting in favour with the party. You're not voting according to what your constituents want. You're not voting according to your beliefs. All these things are terribly, terribly wrong. And while Advance UK, while Ben Habib says all the right things, comes out with all the right rhetoric, and by God, I think more of that man than I do Farage right now. There are several large things missing in my mind, and I can't justify or get my head around voting for Advance UK or supporting Advance UK the way they're talking. In fact, the way any of them are talking. I just can't bring myself to do it. And what I'd like you to do in this is don't get the hump and unsubscribe thinking I'm a charlatan, because I just want the best for this country. What I want you to do is comment. What I want you to do is discuss. What I want you to do is say, Andy, have you thought about blah, 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 blah. And really, let's think about this subject, because there's more at stake. We have people flooding into this country daily who we know nothing about. The economy's on its arse. The cost of living is going up. We seem shackled to another political union that has complete control over us, and we can't do anything about it. People can't afford to buy their own homes. Doctors' surgeries, you can't get an appointment in a timely fashion. Waiting lists are ridiculous. Our education system has deep flaws. Our police has deep flaws. We see these problems every day. Is party politics really the solution? Is Westminster really the solution? Or is it broken beyond repair? When Advanced UK starts talking about these things, particularly the sovereignty of our own countries, England, Scotland, Wales, and all of Ireland, I might be thinking about going there. Until then, I'm not so sure. There you go. That's my cards on the table. Let me know what you think. As always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, unless I've severely pissed you off with this one. Here's another video for you to have a look at. And as always, I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.